Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Ultraman New Generation Stars, DX Dimensionizer. So yeah, obviously if you haven't known, I skipped out on Decker's toy line entirely because I was hoping at that point we can start cutting back on series and such. Then I think Geats happened after. And also it's just because I was fearing that because it was cards, it was going to be troublesome to get. However, with this item as a whole, this was, like I said before, this is actually not from Decker, but from New Generation Stars, the recap, the yearly recap Ultraman series, because New Generation Stars actually had a plot, and actually had a reason as to why they had to recap events and such. And obviously, as you can see from here, you know, it's, yeah, I think it's in its own packaging. It's not anything derived off of Decker. So, weirdly enough, we have Zet at the front, and then Zero. Because it comes with his EX Dimension card. Because I think these are still called Dimension cards. I don't know. It tells you what it does. Here we have the New Generation Heroes. It tells you to use it in your Decker items. So using the D-Flasher, the Dual Sword, or oh, it's called the Ultra Dual Sword. And then the no longer active Ultra Fusion Fight, because this is only active in China now. And then this side has the contents plus the QR code for the PDF file. Just, I think, talking about the type of plastic it is, the warnings, and basically everything you can do with it and such. So, fun. So here we have the contents out, the Dimensionizer itself, and the Dimension card, the Ultra Dimension card. Obviously, we will take a look at the Dimensionizer itself, because obviously, this is joked on, or this is like, I think throughout the series it's poked into, about the fact it's heavily resembles Zero. Obviously, with the sluggers and the color timer and just the color scheme as a whole. But like, honestly, I really like the design of this thing. That's why I like this thing. Just, it's pretty sleek in my opinion and such. And like, you know, just with the card slot in like the center, it's like, it's pretty big and such, but like it still feels nice in the hand. Like, obviously, yeah, you need to like actually grip it so then you don't accidentally drop it. But like, you know, it's like a very nice like size. Such, it's, again, it's like a PDA or something. But obviously, the name Dimensionizer obviously originates all the way back with the Battlenizer from Ultra Kaiju, not Ultra Kaiju Fight, like the Dai Kaiju, the Ultra Monster series. I forgot what it was called. Yeah, I was right. It was called Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle, or something like that. So, basically, obviously, you don't know, the Nizer line is basically just a line of devices, excuse me, that are supposed to basically be able to summon kaijus and such. Obviously, in Geed, or no, obviously it started out with the Battlenizer, and then in the movie, we had the Giga Battleizer, which was Belial's main weapon. And then, in Geed, it came back full circle and became the Giga Finalizer and such. And now we have another Nizer here, which is, again, actually, it's more in resemblance to the Neo Battleizer, just be of shape and size. Obviously, again, instead of inserting the card from here, you slide it through. You got 2 red buttons right here. Again, you got the blue paint here. And you got this really nice, sharp, silver paint right here. And, like, all textured and such. It's really neat. But other than that, there's not really much to it. You insert your 3 AAAs in here. This thing does have to take AAAs. And your speakers, the speakers right there. Obviously, these are just not filled in, and the on and off switch like so. Very Zero-esque sound, to which, for the activation, to which you can't really do much without a card, obviously. You can press these, but you don't get anything out of it and such. And you're gonna definitely hear this go off as I take a look at the Ultra Dimension card. So obviously we have never... It's telling me to scan a card. So as you can see from here, this is our first look at a Dimension card, despite the fact, obviously, this is like post-Decker. So as you can tell from the New Generation Stars versions of the Dimension cards, they are basically in resemblance to a dynamic type / glitter trigger eternity, with them having the golden background. However, they actually changed the portraits, which I actually do like. And as you can tell from here, the big thing with the Dimension cards, I guess to differentiate them from all the other cards they've done, they're hollow foil. But not like to the point that they're still like very smooth and such, which is definitely interesting. But as you can see from up here, this is the numbering, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like Toy Decker or something like that. And this one is -061 because this is continuing off of the Decker toy line. So I guess they went up to 60 cards. And then this one, I don't know what the DR stands for because that's in all the cards. And then here we have the name of the Ultraman, the finisher, their stats within Fusion Fight, a number, I guess, associating with their ability. Again, these symbols carry from the Fusion cards. And then, obviously, again, the big thing with the Dimension cards is that they have barcodes, to which I'm not the biggest fan of, because, again, I just feel like with Dimension cards... There, I finally went to sleep. I just felt like with Dimension cards overall, it just felt very backwards. And then the back here, again, you have the barcode for Ultra Fusion Fight, or for what used to be the arcade game, but I think at this point this would only work on the app now. Again, you get the name. This is going to be important. This is the height. This is the weight, and this is the finisher. This section here is for the D-flasher, but obviously we don't have that. And I do like how the color is reminiscent of the element. And just, I guess, a bunch of specifications on how what Zero does within Ultra Galaxy Fight, Ultra Fusion Fight. And just a brief description of his character as a whole. And obviously we got the trans stamps and such, and we got a arrow down here, I guess, telling you to, again, put it down like so whenever you put in the D-flasher. And I personally don't know what this section is for. I assume this section is here to tell you which card it accompaniates, or which card it, compare with this card within Fusion Fight. You know, just what the Fusion cards did, but yeah, if you do want a comparison, this is how a Dimension card is supposed to be, but obviously this is the prop version, I think they called, which obviously just removes all the stats. But again, they're typically blue, and they're just like this somewhat side portion or side profile of the Ultra, but I think at least for the most part, these are new pictures of the Ultras, so I appreciate that. In the back, as you can tell, it just doesn't have anything and such. But you can tell that like these pictures definitely are we've seen, but the fronts are different. And also, I can't tell if this picture is supposed to be this picture because I'm pretty sure with the backs of these cards, they're all the same from their original counterparts. It's just that now I think they took this picture and just made it the front now, which I don't mind. So to start the process of the Dimensionizer, you want to press either button to activate or to wake it up, and then to start it, you just simply want to slide that dimension card, obviously with the barcode facing the right, into this slot like so. So there we have confirmation of the scan completed. So we'll say dimension load, and then the Ultraman we have. So now the right button here, like I said before, this button will actually be basically this blurb. Will basically be this entire blurb. So we'll go through the height, to which if we were to activate, so it says that his height, Zero's height is 49,000 millimeters. And then the second one, his weight is 3. I actually don't know what that 3 is supposed to be for now. But he's 5,000 tons. And then the last one, the finisher being the wide zero shot. Which then leads into the specialty of these cards. The left button actually has sounds designated to that Ultra or character. So there we have his grunt. And the wide zero shot. Obviously, that's kind of all you get. So yeah, if we were to use a normal dimension card, so again we will use powered. This side will be all the same. So obviously I went through height, weight, the finisher, obviously the finisher being the Mega Specium Colson. However, things change when we actually go to the, I guess, sound effect button. So obviously we do have his grunt, but that's all we're going to get. Because of the fact it's just a dimension card and such. To which basically means that he's not going to have all the functions of a EX card, basically. And before, you already technically saw it go to sleep, because again, it takes a really long time. So to immediately put it to sleep, just press both buttons down. And there you have it manually asleep. So yeah, I think the Dimensionizer, my thoughts on the Dimensionizer as a base set, it's fine, but like, you're obviously gonna need to actually get the next 2 videos, or actually have a good enough collection of dimension cards, because yeah, you can't do much with this thing. There's not much to do, and to most international fans, they're not going to get much out of it because of the fact they're going to be like, oh, Why is he saying numbers? What do these numbers mean? I'm only here for the, like, finishers, like, announcement sound, and just the grunt for the most part, technically. Yeah, basically, this is not going to appeal to people at all. Especially because it's an analyzer, and it's basically like a dictionary thing. So, yeah, there's not much appeal to it. Even if you are a Ultra Dimension card collector, you don't need it. Even though it is a new barcode, it's still just going to do the same thing like normal Zero. This card's only going to do things within this toy specifically, even if it's minor. Unless you do want to get 2 per card, then, like, sure. But again, I think the fun of it just comes from, I think, the later sets, and also, again, just having a pre-established collection already. Because in my opinion, I do think it's cool that they actually made this a retail item. Because if you don't recall, obviously during Trigger, we had the Ultra Metal Analyzer, to which I have not done a video on this, but this is basically its predecessor, to which, obviously, it was basically the same thing. Of just, like, you lay the metal here, you press the button, and you can either go through the entire description of that Ultra / Kaiju, or you can just have a grunt coming out of that Ultraman and such. I at least, like, this thing was, like, already a pretty decent enough toy, though, again, this thing is just not canon because it was just made to get the trigger metal out. But also at the same time, I think this toy is kind of a bit more superior in a way, just because they actually did a bit more with the sound effect button. Like, again, like, you can technically say it's not necessary, because, again, this is not a transformation device. It was literally a device, it was literally a communication device to transcend history back. So it's like, yeah, like, that's why this thing tends to be really cheap. I got this thing on Amazon Japan for like 1,700 yen. I got this for under $20, so it's just like, Amazon Japan is honestly the best place to get this thing if you are indeed interested. But other than that, like, this is definitely a huge skip if you are a Dimension card collector, because, like, technically, in a way, you're sad. Like, this is basically the dual sword, but, like, with updated, not assets, just, like, not updated features. I'm trying to, because I forgot to bring this up, but Day of Life thing? No. But basically, I was just going to bring up, because of, obviously, we're not going to be able to cover it. This toy, in a way, was kind of also made just to, like, actually add in, like, post-series? Not post-series, but, like, end-of-series things for Decker, because I think Sphere Mother did not have... Sphere Mother and Terra Phaser and such, they, like, several Decker Kaijus did not have their roars in the D-Flasher. So basically, this toy actually does update that to that. Like, they actually do add those sounds into here. And also, as you saw me doing fine with the scanning, they heavily improved on the card scanning. Because with the dual sword, it was atrocious because you couldn't do it smoothly. You had to, like, take your time to make sure it actually scanned. But with sometimes you want to make sure you actually do hit the button and not just run over it, because obviously you're going to damage the card. These cards are not plastic, they're paper. So you have to be really careful with it. That's also why I didn't want to bother buying the Dimension cards, because it's just like, if they're not going to be plastic, then what's the point? Whoops. But, other than that, like, yeah, this is going to be pretty decisive, obviously, but I think it's a pretty cool item. I like it. Like, I got it for the most part because I really like how it looks, and I really liked how much of a necessity it was within the show it was a part of. Like, the fact that a recap show actually got an original item is pretty cool and such. And like, this is just the perfect item for that kind of show. So I really appreciate them for that. And just, again, finding a way to still have the Decker toy line run, but like also not just simply, I guess, re-releasing things and such. But yeah, before this thing goes to sleep, I'll have to do this review. This is Ryder, people.